Soldiers bound Jesus as if he were a criminal, though he was the only truly innocent man who ever walked the earth. His disciples scattered, fear greater than loyalty. John followed from a distance. Peter stayed near enough to see but far enough to protect himself. The night that began with bread and worship to God was turning into betrayal and humiliation. Jesus was brought before the religious council, men who studied scriptures yet could not recognize the Word made flesh. False witnesses contradicted each other. Accusations tangled like weeds. Jesus remained silent. Silence frustrated his enemies more than speech, for guilt cannot endure the quiet dignity of truth. The high priest demanded, "Are you the Christ, the Son of God?" Jesus sighed. "You will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power." The council erupted. Garments tore, rage boiled. They condemned him for blasphemy, although heaven affirmed what they rejected. Then they spat on him, blindfolded him, struck him, saying, "Prophesy, who hit you?" Jesus endured without retaliation. Behind clenched fists and twisted words lay a yet deeper hatred, darkness fearing its own exposure. Meanwhile, Peter warmed himself by a fire outside. A servant girl pointed him out. "You were with him." Peter denied it. Twice more accusations came. Twice more he swore denial. A rooster crowed. Jesus, led past him, turned and looked into Peter's eyes. Tears erupted. Peter fled into the night, heart crushed under guilt. Jesus was taken to Pilate at dawn. Rome's governor, tight man torn between politics and conscience. Priests demanded death. Pilate questioned him privately. "Are you the king of the Jews?" "My kingdom is not of this world," Jesus replied. Pilate found no fault, yet crowds stirred by leaders shouted for crucifixion. Pilate offered Barabbas, who yet violent rebel, hoping reason would prevail. Instead they screamed, "Release Barabbas! Crucify Jesus!" The governor washed his hands, yet delivered him to be scourged. Yet punishment so brutal. Flesh tore, blood flowed, like streams, bones exposed beneath lashes. Soldiers mocked him with a robe and twisted crown of thorns. "Hail, King of the Jews!" they jeered, striking his face. Angels watched in trembling silence. Heaven held back what earth unleashed. Pilate presented Jesus again, scourged, bleeding, crowned with thorns, hoping pity would end the madness, yet hatred roared louder. "Crucify him!" Pilate surrendered to fear. Justice collapsed. Jesus carried his cross through Jerusalem, while crowds gawked. Some wept, others mocked. His steps staggered under the burden. Roman wood, carved into the shape of redemption. Simon of Cyrene was forced to carry the cross behind him, unknowingly, stepping into the symbol of discipleship. At Golgotha, soldiers nailed his hands and feet. Metal tore flesh. Pain exploded like fire. They lifted him between thieves, the Holy One numbered among criminals. Above his head, Pilate hung the inscription, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." Priests protested, but Pilate replied, "What I have written, I have written." Many mocked, "Save yourself." But nails held no power. Love did. He was not trapped. He was offering himself. Even crucified, Jesus spoke forgiveness. "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." Soldiers gambled for his garments below, fulfilling prophecy even in casual cruelty. One thief cursed him. The other begged mercy. "Remember me when you come in." Yokinejidem. Jesus replied, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Even in agony, he opened heaven's gates to the penitent. John stood near Mary. Jesus entrusted his mother to John. "Behold your mother." Love remained faithful until breath faded. From noon, darkness covered the land, creation grieving, its creator suffering. Jesus cried with desolation deeper than physical pain. my God, why have you forsaken me?" The Father turned his face as sin's weight. The world's rebellion compressed upon Jesus' soul. Heaven's wrath emptied itself into him, so mercy could flow freely to humanity. Then Jesus whispered, "It is finished." With final breath, he surrendered. "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." The earth trembled, rocks split, the temple veil tore from top to bottom, signifying humanity restored to God. A Roman centurion, hardened by execution, gasped, "Truly this was the Son of God." Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus, secret followers, took his body. They wrapped it in linen with spices, laying him in a new tomb. A stone sealed the entrance. Guards watched to prevent theft. Priests believed death secured their victory. Unaware, they guarded the womb of resurrection. The disciples hid, fear-crushing hope. The Messiah was gone, dreams shattered. Mary wept at his tomb while Sabbath silence wrapped the city. But dawn approached. On the third day, as first light brushed horizon, tremors shook the earth. An angel descended, rolling the stone aside. Not to free Jesus, but to reveal he was already gone. Guards collapsed in terror. Inside, linen lay folded. The conqueror had risen. Women arrived with spices, confused to find an empty tomb. Angels appeared. "Why do you seek the living among the dead? He is not here, he is risen." They ran to tell the disciples, but their words seemed like nonsense. Grief blinded belief. Yet Peter and John sprinted. John arrived first. Peter entered first. The tomb was empty. Faith sparks ignited. Jesus first appeared to Mary. She mistook him for a gardener. Until he spoke her name, Mary. Her tears turned to recognition. She fell at his feet. "Salei ha master. Saetitegi. Hale." He sent her as witness. The first herald of resurrection. Later, he walked beside disciples on the road to Emmaus. They didn't recognize him as he asked their sorrow. They spoke o mamba foninise. Fahaisetierenatam snek speli. Is crucifixion andidienatam saisetalohobrupile. Jesus responded, unveiling scripture. Prophets, Psalms, promises, showing Messiah must suffer and enter glory. He broke bread. At supper, revelation dawned. Their eyes opened. He vanished, leaving burning hearts. He appeared among disciples, though doors locked. "Peace be with you." They trembled. He invited them to touch his wounds, proof of victory. Thomas, absent, refused to believe. "Unless I see, I will not believe." Fanitev, gasachupiot, gahabakusi, mansoful, inasotsi, kuleseki, intisi kuful, mantisherming gain, kuledetikod, kuleti, laditev. Mansi kahabadiki, kuladi. Ansarudana comment. Your finger. Stop doubting unbelief. Thomas fell, "My Lord and my God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are those who have not seen yet believe." He restored Peter by the sea. 3 denials replaced with 3 affirmations of love. "Feed my sheep." He commanded, transforming shame into commission. For 40 days, he taught, preparing them for mission. Then, on the Mount of Olives, he lifted his hands. "You shall receive power when the Spirit comes upon you. You shall be my witnesses." A cloud ascended. Jesus returned to heaven. The disciples watched skyward until angels reminded them, "He will come again."